If your dog has been panting a little harder than usual this week, if they've been slower on their walks, if they just don't seem quite like themselves, stay with me for the next 10 minutes, because what I'm about to tell you could genuinely save your dog's life. Right now, as I'm recording this, there are active heat warnings across multiple states. State after state, the same story is playing out, and every single summer, it's the same tragic pattern. Minnesota is dealing with a dangerous heat wave and some of the worst air quality seen in the entire country. Just weeks ago, parts of Kentucky were under extreme heat alerts with pavement temperatures forecast to hit a brutal 140 degrees. Delaware, California, state after state, the same story is playing out, and every single summer, it's the same tragic pattern. Dogs are ending up in emergency vet clinics, and some of them don't make it home. Here's the part that should really stop you in your tracks. Heat stroke in dogs isn't something that builds up slowly over hours. It can turn fatal in 15 to 30 minutes. So today we're breaking this down completely. What heat stroke actually is, why it's so dangerous, the exact signs to watch for, which dogs are at the highest risk, what to do in the first 60 seconds if you suspect something's wrong, and how to make sure this never happens to your dog in the first place. Let's start with the basics, because understanding why this happens is what's going to help you catch it early. Dogs don't cool down the way we do. When we get hot, we sweat. Dogs barely sweat at all. They've got a few sweat glands in their paw pads, and that's about it. When a dog pants, they're moving air over the moist surfaces of their tongue, mouth, and airway, and that evaporation is what pulls the heat out. It's a decent system, but it has limits, and once the outside temperature and humidity get high enough, panting just can't keep up anymore. Vets consider anything above 104 degrees Fahrenheit to be the point where you're dealing with heat stroke. And once that internal temperature crosses 106 degrees, you're now in the danger zone for actual organ damage. At that point, heat starts damaging something called heat shock proteins. These are basically the body's built-in defense system against stress and high temperatures. And when those get damaged, the whole system starts to break down. Blood flow to major organs drops. Inflammation spreads through the body's tissues. And if it's not caught in time, you can end up with kidney damage, liver damage, neurological symptoms like seizures, and in the worst cases, complete organ failure. That's why I keep saying this is a minutes matter situation, not a let's keep an eye on it situation. The early signs are honestly pretty easy to miss if you don't know what you're looking for, because they can look like normal hot weather behavior at first, heavier panting than usual. But pay attention to how it looks. If the panting starts to look frantic, rapid, almost desperate, that's your cue that this isn't just, it's a warm day panting anymore. Next, check the gums and the drool. Healthy gums are usually a nice pink color. With heat stroke, you'll often see them turn bright red, sometimes almost brick-colored. And the drool changes texture too. It gets thicker, stickier, ropier than the normal saliva you're used to seeing. Watch how your dog is moving. Wobbliness, stumbling, general unsteadiness on their feet is a major red flag. Confusion or disorientation, almost like they're lightheaded or dazed, is another one. And then there's dehydration, which almost always shows up alongside heat stroke, because a dog losing that much fluid through panting and heat stress just can't keep up on the water side either. Look for a dry nose, dry or tacky gums, sunken-looking eyes, and noticeably less urination than usual. There's actually a simple test you can do at home to check hydration. Gently pinch a bit of the loose skin between your dog's shoulder blades, lift it slightly, and let go. In a well-hydrated dog, that skin snaps right back into place almost instantly. If it's slow to spring back, or it kind of just sits there tented up for a second or two, that's telling you your dog is significantly dehydrated. Now, here's something a lot of pet owners don't realize, and I think this is honestly one of the most important parts of this whole video. Some dogs are dramatically more vulnerable than others. Flat-faced breeds, what vets call brachycephalic breeds, are at the top of the list. We're talking bulldogs, French bulldogs, pugs, boxers, Boston terriers, Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. Their shortened airways make panting far less effective, which means their built-in cooling system is already working at a disadvantage before the heat even hits. Senior dogs are another major risk group, and if you're watching this because you've got an older dog at home, please pay close attention here. Aging bodies are just less efficient at regulating temperature. Puppies, too, haven't fully developed their systems yet. And honestly, even healthy, average dogs can be caught off guard. Some dogs, especially if they're a little overweight, flat-faced, very young, or thick-coated, can develop heat stroke during exercise even when it's only 70 to 75 degrees outside. That number probably surprises a lot of you watching. You don't need triple-digit heat for this to be a real risk. First thing, get your dog out of the heat immediately. Inside, into shade, into an air-conditioned space, whatever's fastest. Second, and this is the part I promised I'd come back to, because so many people get this wrong, start cooling your dog down with cool water. Not ice-cold water, not an ice bath. Here's why that matters. When you use ice-cold water, it actually causes the blood vessels near the skin's surface to constrict, tightening up, and that traps heat inside the core of the body instead of releasing it. It sounds completely counterintuitive, I know. You'd think colder is always better in an emergency, but with heat stroke, going too cold too fast can actually work against you and slow down the cooling process where it matters most. So, cool water. Focus it on the belly, the armpits, the groin area, and the paw pads. These are areas with less fur and better blood flow close to the surface, so cooling here is more effective than just dumping water over their back. Airflow from a fan helps too. Even if your dog seems to bounce back, you still need to get them checked out by a vet. Heat stroke can cause internal damage that you simply cannot see from the outside. Timing is everything. Walk your dog in the early morning or the late evening, when the sun's intensity has dropped off. Avoid that midday window entirely if you can, especially if you're anywhere in the country dealing with an active heat advisory. Check the pavement before you head out. This one's simple, and it's become something of a rule among vets and animal welfare groups across the country. If you press the back of your hand against the sidewalk or the asphalt and you can't hold it there comfortably for 5 seconds, it's too hot for your dog's paw pads. And this next one, I really need you to take this seriously because it comes up every single summer and it is 100% preventable. Never, under any circumstances, leave your dog in a parked car, not for a quick errand. Not with the windows cracked. On a 75-degree day, a day that feels perfectly mild to you, the inside of a parked car can reach 100 degrees in just 10 minutes and climb past 120 degrees within half an hour. Cracking the windows barely makes a dent in that. If you can't bring your dog inside with you, leave them at home. If this video helped you, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We're covering more pet health topics like this all summer long because honestly, this kind of information should be way easier to find than it currently is. Drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from and what the temperatures have been like, where you are. I'd genuinely like to know how many of you are dealing with this heat right now. Stay safe, keep that water bowl full, and I'll see you in the next one.